Folks, now the ugly truth about the real state of the nation called Kenya is beginning to emerge. Azimio leader Raila Odinga yesterday came out with a bombshell. Hey, Raila Odinga told Kenyans that even as they struggle with the high cost of living, even as they get very worried, sleepless nights, etc., over the price of fuel, what is actually happening right now is that out of every liter of fuel you buy, according to Raila Odinga, 30 Kenya shillings goes into the pockets of individuals. Now you need to appreciate how huge a fortune that 30 shillings is. Imagine when you go into a fuel station, or a matatu goes into a fuel station, fills in 50 liters of fuel, full tank for many vehicles. Out of that 50 liters, a whole Kenya shillings 1,500 from one individual goes into the pockets of some individuals, of course, who are very closely linked and intertwined with the government. It runs into billions. Now, the problem here, for anybody who wants to fight back at this allegation by Raila Odinga, the first problem they have to face is the track record of one Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga has a very long track record of releasing controversial information to the public, which is always correct. He has never released information to the public, no matter how controversial it sounds, that has turned out to be false. From the crazy revelation about the plans within the military, because the military was used to rig the 2017 presidential elections, to some mind-blowing information he gave about assassins who had come into the country, their Tur brothers. He even gave the precise location of where they were located. Raila Odinga information has always proved to be correct. But there's a second problem. For months now, there have been telltale signs that what is happening within government is that some powerful people are doing business using government machinery, using their power and their connections within the government. There have been very clear signs of that. Let me just give you one example. The revival of the parastatal Kenya National Trading Corporation, which was used to import edible oils, rice and a few other foodstuffs into the country, duty-free. And the whole idea was to ensure that when all these goods landed in the country, they entered the market at a cheaper rate than what was there. And then, of course, greed set in, and the prices were more or less the same as what was in the market. Remember that Kadil? All these were clear evidence that people are using government to make money. Now, the super fascinating thing is that this is not the first time it has happened in Kenya. No. During the reign of Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, there is a man called Nicholas Kipiator Biwott, who at that time was said to be earning a hefty commission out of every liter of fuel Kenyans bought. So this is just history repeating itself. Now let us go deeper into this. And trust me, I have a few things to say that will shock you to your bones. But just give me a moment to give you some valuable information. At least this information will prove to be valuable to some of us on this channel. Now we all know that times are very hard. Yeah, and people in business, people want to promote their businesses are having a very difficult time reaching their potential clients. And you know, this is critical for any business to survive during these hard times. Somehow you have to get business. Now I have the greatest news. This channel reaches a very unique audience. Kenyans in the diaspora, older Kenyans. You know, the channels reach a lot of young people. Yeah, and unfortunately, most young people don't have much purchasing power. But the purchasing power in the views on this channel are huge. And we have proved that. Somebody advertised some land the other day in Naivasha. Within hours of that video going up, it was sold. And we're talking about a double-digit million. And therefore, if you have a product or service that you need to promote, I think you should seriously consider sponsoring a Kumekucha video. Yeah, that means that you get a mention in one of my videos and a lot more to let others know what you're doing. And I'm sure a lot of your potential clients always tune in very regularly to this channel. And therefore it is a fabulous, amazing opportunity for you to reach your audience very cheaply and very effectively. Kindly check in the description area of this video for more details. And then you can also send me an email on that email address you see on your screens right now, or even call directly on that number for more information. Now, of course, space is limited. Yeah, we already have 1 or 2 people lined up, and it's very limited because we can't do this for everybody. And we do not produce that many videos. Yeah, therefore I suggest that you take action immediately so that you don't lose this golden opportunity. Right. Back to this controversial mafuta ya petroli. Manenos. Now, according to information I had at the time, Nicholas Biwott lobbied to be appointed the minister in charge of energy, a portfolio that he held for quite a number of years. And within those years, Bwana Biwott became fabulously wealthy. Okay? In other words, even if it was you who was in government today and you're looking for a way to make quick money, yeah, guaranteed, fuel is the way to go. And in any case, this new Kenya Kwanza government would only need to look for Biwott's people. Yeah, people already experienced in these deals. Bring them on board, game shot. According to Raila, that is precisely what is unfolding in our country. Of course, this is very painful, considering that Kenyans are struggling. And one of the biggest issues we have is the price of petrol, because it controls everything that we do as Kenyans. Now, Raila also gave more evidence that what he was saying was true. He said that this is the reason why neighboring President Yoweri Museveni had refused to pay this extra money going to people's pockets and had withdrawn from the deal with Kenya and is now buying his fuel directly. And what is more, his fuel is coming in through Dar es Salaam instead of Mombasa, Kenya. Now, for the people who understand the geography of East Africa, the route from Dar es Salaam to Kampala is much longer. Indeed, I've been on most of that route. Yeah, in the year 2019, I had the opportunity of doing a road trip with my family through most of Tanzania. Very beautiful country. I was very shocked. I saw a lot of things I didn't know. But bottom line, the roads are not good. In major sections of that road, you cannot even drive at a speed of above 10 kilometers an hour. The roads are terrible, especially as you come closer to the border of Rwanda and Uganda. Bottom line, that trip is much more expensive than the trip of Mombasa to Kampala. But if Museveni is prepared to take in all those disadvantages, but for his fuel to avoid Kenya altogether, then you must know, iko kitu, there is something. And this something is very major. And for those of us who know how to read body language, when you carefully observe a press conference and somebody announces that fuel prices are going up and will continue going up, and then people, instead of sweating, some people are licking their lips. True story. Review the videos for yourself. Hey, some people are licking their lips instead of sweating. Then you know, hapa iko kitu. Kenya kwisha maneno. That is really what it's suggesting. That is really what this news, this explosive information that Raila Odinga gave us, that is what it's telling us. Hey. You know, there's some people who believe if you're not stealing from government coffers, but you're using your brains to do 1, 2, 3 to profit from government, then that is not really corruption. Of course, that's rubbish. That is the worst form of corruption. It is still corruption. You can't call it by any other name. But there are some people who believe that. And I believe some of those people who believe that are in government right now as we speak. And they're doing their thing. And I'm afraid the deals being made are not only in fuel. Let me just leave it at that for now. Watu wabiwoto wajaenda retire. Wameitwa tena wafanye zile vitu walikuwa nafanya wakati wa Moi. Na sisi wa Kenya tutaenda wapi? You know, this news, this information is more than painful. Because when you consider what Kenyans are going through, and then you realize a few people are becoming super rich overnight, let alone the corruption, they're doing so on the backs of suffering Kenyans, then this kind of information is a kind of information that just floors you. Kabisa. Now in my subsequent videos, I will give you more revelations on not only these fuel manenos, but other very dirty, dodgy things going on in government. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of those who reached out, to console me and to support me through the current challenges I'm having. But Almighty God is good all the time, because I'm coming out of them as we speak, and I will come out of them completely in the very near future. And of course, the most painful thing is that it has been caused by some people somewhere. Inaitwa sabotage. And of course, it's nothing new. I've always had many enemies. This channel has had many enemies because of what we do, because of the truth we represent in our coverage, because of our consistent, persistent campaign to do only things that can stand the test of time, and to fight, forever fight, for a better Kenya, at whatever cost. Now, I've just released Weekly Intelligence Briefings number 115. 116 will be out in the next few hours. And there's a very good opportunity of getting hold of my Weekly Intelligence Briefings by taking full advantage of our latest offer on that book, audiobook, The Ruto Kenyans Will Never Know. There is a unique opportunity over the next 24 hours to do so. If you feel that you need this very important content and your budget doesn't quite cut it to enable you to get your hands on it, for the next 24 hours, you can name your price. Lakini usinifinye sana, and for that reason the limit will be 50. yeah, the first 50 to send me an email on that email address you see on your screens right now, youmisstthis@gmail.com, naming your prize. And then guess what? I will also throw in another valuable Kumekucha book. You can choose for yourself, or you can allow me to choose for you. The most liked of my other ebooks, of course, is Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency, How Mutula Kilonzo Sr. was murdered, yeah, and then there's another one called The President's Lovers. Now that last one of you took it in recently, and they were delighted, very excited about it. And yes, it talks about a Kenyan president. And so, you have this very exciting opportunity. Please take full advantage of it. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.